Greetings everybody. You join me on a gloriously sunny but rather cold day here in South Wiltshire. Today is going to be, I'll say a special walk, but it's going to be a walk around Stonehenge and some of the monuments in the vicinity, and then a little bit of the Woodford Valley as well. I'm currently at Woodhenge, which was supposedly built before Stonehenge. Was a wooden structure, hence the name. It's about a couple of miles northeast of Stonehenge. None of the obviously original wooden posts are still there, so they've put some concrete posts into the ground to signify what was there originally. Loads of concentric circles, and then behind this site is another site where there's another henge as such, where Durrington Walls is what it's called, which is basically a great big ditch. Some of it has disappeared over the years, but there's parts of it up there that can still be seen. Anyway, so we're going to head off now in the general direction of Stonehenge. So as we round this corner, getting our first view of Stonehenge in the distance. I'm not sure this camera will be going to zoom in and pick it up, but I'll take a photograph as well. So we're now joining what is known as the Avenue. It was the original Grand Avenue or processional avenue towards Stonehenge. The original earthworks have disappeared over time, but this is following the course of that processional route towards Stonehenge. I don't know how easily you can see, but on the ridge line up there are probably a dozen, 20 or so lorries and vans that have all been converted into motorhome stroke mobile home sort of things. Back in the 1970s and 80s, there used to be a Stonehenge festival in the summer solstice, where thousands of New Age travellers, hippies, whatever you want to call them, used to descend on Stonehenge and have a massive party for about a week in the fields. And then in I think it was 1984 or 1985, the authorities decided to put a stop to it, and that culminated in a massive pitched battle called the Battle of the Beanfield, which was a few miles up the road in Hampshire. Ever since then, for years, Stonehenge was closed during the summer solstice, and people weren't allowed anywhere near it. But over the last 10 years or so, English Heritage have opened it up. But anyway, from that, as you can see, you still get the stragglers on of the old-fashioned hippies and more modern-day travellers, shall we say, that have a virtual permanent encampment on one of the byways just by the stones. So as we crest this hill, Stonehenge suddenly comes into view. I can imagine our ancestors from many thousands of years ago were very impressed when they came across this view. Right, I'll let you into a little secret. I'm in the field here. Here's a fence. There's a second fence. There's a third fence. And then there's a rope. So you pay a fortune to walk inside that second fence between that and the rope to look at the stones. Or you come the way I've come. It costs you absolutely nothing. So you get to be 10 yards closer that way, or and pay a fortune, or come my way and pay nothing. Either way, you've got to either walk or catch a bus down from the visitor centre. So top tip, do what I've done, walk from Woodhenge and it costs you nothing. Obviously you can't go into the actual stone circle, but most of the time people can't do that anyway unless they got they paid for a special access. So there's the stones from the looking from the western side. We're about to sort of say goodbye to them now and head up this byway, which will take us eventually down into the Woodford Valley. The trouble with using this byway is we've got to pass or try and cross the busy A303. There's no official crossing facility here, so it's a case of diving through when you can. You may have heard a controversy about a tunnel for Stonehenge. Well, this is the bit of road that if they ever do build a tunnel, that will be underground. As I turn round, looking back towards Stonehenge, it is a bit of an eyesore on the monument when you've got this great big busy road flying past, and it does cause, I mean, it's a busy enough day today in mid-November, but in the summer it's always chock-a-block with traffic, tailbacks going very, very slow. So this could take a while trying to cross here. Cool, finally across. That took about 10 minutes. So these chalk grasslands that surround Stonehenge are renowned as good nesting areas for stone curlew, and I think the area to my just over there is a protected nature reserve. As you can see, these bumps in the ground, these are barrows, burial mounds. All the low landscape around here is covered in these, obviously all dating back to the times of when Stonehenge was built and before. I expect there's probably a lot of happy people live there. Well, we're just about to cross the River Avon. This is the Wiltshire Avon, so it runs or sources from up, I think it's up near Woodborough, near Pewsey in Wiltshire, and goes all the way down to Christchurch Harbour down in Dorset. It's one of the rivers that goes through the city of Salisbury. So I found a suitable place to have a sit down for 5 minutes, because I think I'm over halfway through this walk, and have a bite to eat and the obligatory cup of coffee. And crossing back over the River Avon again. Earlier on I was going on about Stonehenge tunnel. Well, you got just up here an encampment of protesters. Once more, we've got the joys of crossing the 303. It's a bit easier this time because there's a central refuge. The only trouble is the traffic's going a lot faster, but that was a damn sight quicker than the last time anyway. So there's a view of Stonehenge again in the distance. I don't know whether you can see very much of it at all. We're about to join up with the path that we were on this morning. I was on about barrows earlier on. There's a couple more within the trees here, these big hillocks. But you can't get inside, there's nothing to see as such apart from a hill. Still some autumnal colours to look at anyway. Just walking up now what was once an old military railway line that ran from, well, Wilsford through to Larkhill. I think it was created for the First World War to deliver, well, troops and armaments, or whatever you want to call ordnance. Put your teeth back in handy. But yeah, it's been decommissioned and turned into a footpath now. Right, just coming back to the car now. 22:03, so it's exactly 4 hours. It's taken to this walk. It's just under 11 miles, I think. It's a glorious sunny day. It's remained sunny throughout. It's been a really good walk. It's not too taxing, there's not too much up and downs. Obviously got to see the Stonehenge landscape and a little bit of River Valley. So hope you've enjoyed this and you've seen a cheeky way of seeing Stonehenge without having to pay. Catch you later.